Okay, we are going to stitch the flower onto the top of our pincushion. So I have taken, it doesn't really matter what thread colour you use here, because the whole idea is that we're going to try and hide the stitches anyway. I'm just using the same colour that I used because it's already threaded. And I'm going to start by putting my needle down into that hole and pulling it out so that I have got a knot inside. Whoops, and I pulled too hard, or my knot isn't big enough. Let's try that again. There we go. So that's coming out of the space. Now you can position this however you want. You could line up the petals with the seams, or you could line up the petals with the teardrops. Doesn't matter, I'm just going to leave it like that. And what we're going to do is we're going to put a stitch hidden in here between two petals, and in here and here and here and here. So we're actually only doing some small stitches. So my thread is coming out. Oh, I really need to do a bigger knot. My thread is coming out there, so that's where I'm going to start. So I'm going to pull my needle out of there again. There we go. Place my flower on the top, and I am going to take my needle and zoom in a little bit so you can see. I'm going to take my needle into the felt and then up and into the flower above it, and the needle needs to come out between those two petals. So I'll show you that again. I am going to take my needle into the pincushion and out, so I'm taking a stitch, but I'm going to then push it into the felt flower, and the needle is coming out between those two petals. I'm going to pull, then I'm going to put my needle back down to make a stitch and secure it in place. When I do that, I want to bring my needle up over here. So it's going to go down into the pincushion. I'm going to bring it up over here and in between those petals, just like that. It is a little bit awkward, but because the pincushion is quite squishy, it's not a problem. So this is coming down and securing it there, and then ready for my next stitch. I'm going to do the same again, into the pincushion and out, whoops, between, don't want to come up through the stitches, because those, because the rope stitching securing the small teardrops are quite big, this is just going to cover up those tiny little stitches that we're taking. And I'm just going to go round and repeat that so that we've got a little stitch in between each petal, just keeping it down. And you could do this more than once if you wanted to be extra secure. You could go round and do it again. You could go round and do it again a bit further up, so you've got stitches in more than one place. I think I've been round, I lost count now. But yeah, that seems fairly secure to me. I'm just going to go down, do one more, just in case. Okay, and then to finish off, what I'm going to do, so I'm just going to do a small stitch down, but not all the way through this time, just lifting up that flower, bring my needle up underneath. Okay, now this is personal preference. I am quite happy leaving it like that. I like the fact that it's a bit 3D, it's sticking up, looks good to me. If it bothers you that your stitches can easily be seen underneath, you could go round and put some little anchor stitches a bit further out. They'd be visible, but it means that they wouldn't be able to pick up. I'm not bothered by that at all. So I'm just going to make a small stitch and a knot just a couple of times, and then I'm going to bury my thread by taking my needle and pushing it all the way through to the bottom of my pincushion. All that stuffing is, just pull the thread down, Give it a good yank to make sure it's nice and secure. Everything's lying flat. Then I can just chop that off. And there we have the top of the pincushion. And all that's left then, if you've put enough stuffing in, is just turn over and to sort out its bottom. So to do that, push all the stuffing in. You're going to place your felt circle over the top and you're going to stitch around it. Now you could either do it in a matching thread if you've got one, that's invisible stitching, or who's that bothered about the bottom of a pincushion? I am going to use the same thread to finish it off. Bring my needle up, put that down, and I'm just going to do an over stitch. I'm going to go into the felt and into the circle and out the other side, and I'm just going to continue that round. In, out. Just a little stitch all the way around the edge, making sure you're going through both layers of felt as you go round to secure it. If you wanted to, you could make this look prettier. You could do a blanket stitch by just wrapping your thread round. I'm just going to do simple stitches all the way around, and then it is finished. If you find that you've got a bigger hole than you expected at the bottom, you could do a running stitch around the hole and pull it through to make it tighter, or just cut a new felt circle a little bit bigger to cover it up. If you wanted to make sure that your pincushion sat nice and flat, you could even cut out a little bit of card, a circle of card or something, and put it into the bottom before you close it so that it sits nice and flat, but mine does anyway. So it just depends on what you're using to stuff it with. If you're using fabric scraps, then you might want something to just stabilise it at the bottom. And that's it. So I hope that you have enjoyed making a pincushion. I would love to see any pincushions that you have made with my pattern. I'd love to see all the different colours. I'd love to see how you've used your threads, which felt you've used, all kinds of stuff. If you have any issues with the pattern or any of the stitches, you want some clarification, or I've forgotten something or said I would do something and I haven't, please can you get in touch with me? You can get in touch with me on social media. I'm always on Instagram, far more than I should be. So you could DM me on Instagram, message me on Facebook, or my email. My website is makeyourownhappy.uk. Always happy to hear from people. Yeah, if you liked doing this, then please tell others all about the pincushion, or if you're taking it to a sit and sew group and someone admires it, then please let them know that they can make their own one, and let them know all about my small business, because it really does make a difference. The more that you share, like, comment, anything like that, it's really, really appreciated. So I'm just going to finish this off, a rogue thread there, with a little knot. Again, I'm going to bury my thread inside and cut it off. And zoom out a little bit because it's very close. And there we go. We have got one finished sea urchin inspired pincushion. Thank you for joining me. Bye.